This is a great opportunity. I appreciate being here today, and we're going to be talking a little bit about overcoming some buyer reluctance, and we call it creating buyer urgency. It's tactic number 9 in Shift, and we're going to have a good time with that today. Some of the main topics that we're going to be covering are the 4 strategies to overcome buyer reluctance. Why wait? You're going to have buyers that say, hey, I just want to take a little time. We're going to let the market come back. We're going to discuss that a little bit. Also, we're going to talk about the opportunity for buyers to trade up in this market. We're going to talk about the strategy of less is more. One of my big value propositions as being a buyer agent is narrowing down the field and getting those best properties out there for the buyers to look at. And we're also going to talk about find the best buy. Another one of my value propositions is I'm going to make sure that they have the best buy out there. We're looking at the best properties. But before we do that, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. My name again is Rick Guthrie. I've been in the real estate business about 12 years. Owned 2 other major franchises that were kind of brand X. Got into Keller Williams for the training. I appreciated the models and systems and the opportunity. I'm just happy to be here. And currently I'm a team leader in Colorado Springs, Colorado at Keller Williams Hope downtown. So let's get on there. We're going to have a little bit of fun. You guys are going to have to help me. You going to help me on a couple things?
You bet.
Okay, when we come up with these slides, you guys got to speak them real loud. Okay, I want you to read this with me. The time is right. Don't hesitate. You can lose a great deal, so why wait? The reason I'm having us do this real loud is I want you to get these 4 strategies in your head. It's really, really important. So now one of the things I'm going to do is we're going to role play a little bit. And I've had some volunteers right here in front that have been gracious enough to volunteer and help me out. We're going to do a little bit of scripts and role playing. And so you guys speak up real loud. This will be fun. And so guys, when I come to you, everything in green you read, and I'll read everything in red. Okay? Go ahead, buyer.
Rick, we're ready to buy, but we want to wait.
Well, obviously you feel that waiting might be some sort of advantage, Mr. Buyer. Can I ask why?
Yeah, well, we want to wait until the home prices drop a little bit more.
Well, I hear you. Let me pause right here. When I say I hear you, I don't agree with you. I just say I hear you. When I say I understand, I agree with you. Okay? I hear you. However, that may be to your disadvantage. May I explain it?
Sure.
Okay, great. You see, when you wait, because you think you might be getting a great deal or that the housing prices might drop, what's happening actually is you're finding an offset. What I mean is the starting price at a home at $200,000 with a 6% interest rate giving you a payment of $1,199. Do you see that? Mm-hmm. Now, I can understand that you want to look for a price drop, and let's say that the price drop is $190,000. If the interest rate should happen to go up by 5% or 0.5% at 6.5%, you're only looking at a $3 difference in your payment at $1,201. Do you see where I'm coming from with that?
I do. All
right, fantastic. A 10% drop, waiting for that. If that was offset by a 7% interest rate, then you're actually looking at a house payment that's actually $1 less. So that you see that there's no real advantage to the offset in waiting?
Yes.
Now let me ask you a question. If we found your perfect home, and you said, geez, you know, Rick, I want to wait for a couple months to see if they're going to drop the price, how would you feel if somebody else moved into your perfect home?
Probably not very good.
Not very good. So you see the importance of not waiting right now and taking advantage of the market?
I do now.
Do you guys really see that? I mean, as trainers and as real estate brokers. And one of the things, guys, you've got to understand, it's really important, and if there's anything I'm more passionate about, class aside, we've got to explain to our agents over the next 4 to 6 months, we're in a perfect storm, okay? All the stars have lined up, so it's to our buyers' advantage. It's really, really important. And the reason I say this, in the Colorado Springs market, guess what happened in November, last month? We had in a 12-month, from November of 2008, 2009, we had the highest increase in property values that we've had in 15 years. So now if we take this down, and actually what happens is if the prices actually start going up, and interest rates go up, we're going to have a problem, aren't we, for our buyers? Okay, and whether you believe it or not, interest rates are going up. Okay, thank you very much. Thanks. Okay, now let's go to the next one. Ready? The market's down, so let's trade up. Oops, where did it go? Come back. What did I do? Did I push the wrong one? Trade up. Come on, cowboy, giddy up. I'm so stupid. I got up this morning, I thought I saw Superman twice. That's how bad it was. Actually, it turns out the first time was a bird, the second time was a plane, so we're all good. So let's trade up. Who's my next person?
I am.
Okay. Let's go on to this next script.
Rick, we want to buy because we have outgrown our house, but there's a problem.
Well, maybe I can help. Would you feel comfortable explaining your concern?
Well, we know that home prices have dropped, and we could lose thousands, so we want to wait till the market gets better.
I hear you. However, there's a way to make thousands in a down market. May I explain?
Yes, please.
Oh, great. What we see happening is that your original home, we have to agree that there might be an opportunity for you to lose a little bit of money. Your starting price of $2,000 with a 5% drop in home prices, and it sells at $190,000. There's a good chance you could lose $10,000. But you said that you're looking for the opportunity to get in a larger home with more square footage, meet more of your family needs. Realize that 5% drop in home prices really goes across the board to other markets. Okay, so a $400,000 home, a 5% drop in home prices, it sells at $380,000. The savings is actually $20,000. Now let me ask you a question: would you spend $10,000 to make 20?
Yes.
Would you spend $10,000 to make 30?
Yes.
Okay, you know what? As your buyer's agent, I'm going after the sellers with bare teeth and getting everything that you deserve in this current market. So do you see kind of might be a disadvantage for you to wait?
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys see that? Okay, and it's really important, and it's understandable that we hear that they have a concern, okay? But you've got to understand that if we do not educate them, they're not taking advantage of something that might be the best opportunity that they've ever had, okay? Let's go on to the next one. Ready? The choices are broad for the home you adore. I'll narrow the field because less is more.
Less is more.
Less is more. Okay, less is more in narrowing the field. This is really important as far as your value proposition to your buyers. Now, if you're not doing a buyer consultation, does everybody know what that is? Good 30, 45 minutes to sit them down in front of you and find out exactly what they're looking for and explain that you're going to do your footwork to narrow down the field to find the best of the best properties out there so they don't have to do that. And it's really important that you take the time to do that. And I'll show you an example. Who's my number 3? Rosalinda?
Rick, we're ready to buy, but there's so many properties out there. Well, we just don't know where to start.
You know, I understand. See what I said there? It's not out here. I understand because they are concerned. However, there's a technique I use called narrowing the field. May I explain? What I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of the properties, all of your wants and needs that we've talked about in that buyer's consultation, and we're going to narrow them down to the best of the best. 5 to 10 properties show you exactly what you're looking for, so you don't have to do that. Would you allow me to do that? Would that be okay? Okay. So know what they need and want. Know the best buys in the market. It's extremely important to know your inventory. Okay. Reasons to preview homes. Save yourself time and gasoline. Jump in the car and go look at them first. You know, if you've had a good buyer's consultation, whether or not it's a home for your buyer. Agreed? You walk in the door and you go, no, this isn't her. No, this isn't what they want. So why take them to those properties? Those good home previews are extremely important. Take customers directly to the best buys. Buyers have confidence in you when you only show houses that meet their needs and wants. Okay? And one of the things that I have a real hard time with, my buyers are qualified for $200,000, Rick. Great, what are you showing them? $200,000 houses. What would your buyer do if you went out and showed them a $170,000 house and it was their perfect house? Would you be their hero? Would they refer you? Exactly, and what we do is we run that right up to that edge and say, they're qualified for $200,000, so let's go find them a $200,000 house. Listen to this script and dialogue. Rosalind, let me ask you a question. We had that buyer's consultation, okay? If I find you the exact home that you're looking for that meets most of your needs in the area that you want, and it's in the price range of the payment that you want, would you allow me to formulate an offer on your behalf? Super, okay? Now, I'll remind Rosalind of that when I find her house, of that conversation, okay? You go out and find their $200,000 house for $170,000, you're a hero. And they're out there, agreed? All right, let's move on. Big and loud, sellers want to sell, they don't want to try, so I'll get it good, I love you guys. Find the best buy. Okay? Let's go to my script person. By the way, Rosalinda, thank you. Who's number 4?
Rick, we want to find a great deal. What do we do?
I understand. We want to get it while the getting's good. May I explain some of the techniques I'm going to use to find you a Best Buy?
Yes.
Now remember, these scripts are always in your buyer's consultation. Okay? Always before you go out. Okay? So what we're going to do is, Mrs. Buyer, I'm going to go to the bank-owned properties. We call them REOs. And I'm going to look for lists of those. We're going to go to HUD Exchange, foreclosure lists. We're going to go knock on some doors with some for-sale by owners that might fit your needs. Okay? Price reductions in the MLS. Matter of fact, one of the things I do, listen to this, guys, this is so huge. Listen to this. One of the things I do is I do a search in the MLS, and I'm going to take the properties in the areas that you want, Rick, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a market analysis and find comps for exactly your square footage. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the search for 20% less. So every time a house comes in 20% less in the area that you're looking for, it's going to pop up on my screen. I'm going to give you a call. I'm going to put it on a list. I'm going to have a list of the Best Buys. Okay? So every time something comes available, I'm calling the phone to Rick. I say, hey, we got to act. I think there's something that's going to be great for you. It's 20% less. It's on that magic list I talked to you about. Isn't that a great idea? I've got several agents that are using that right now, and you would be surprised. They'll come and say, gee, Rick, I got another 3 or 4 properties that came up on my 20% list today. And it's 20% lower than the lowest comp. Okay? So when you put that list together for your buyers, it's huge, right? And they see value. You understand that? And that's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to create value. New homes on the market. Builders promotions, and there's a lot of those out there. Not just the builders promotions that give you 6%. But the builders promotions are going to give your clients a great deal. Okay? Really, really important. You create a list. You nominate those homes that you consider Best Buys. Be on the lookout for special offers. Create a short list of the best. Okay? And you keep that list updated all the time. Okay? Now, Rick asked me if you can get that list from me. Can you get that?
Can I get that list from you?
No. And here's why. Rick, because that list, I need to update it daily. By the time I give it to you, it might be obsolete. Okay? Why don't we want to give them that list, guys?
We want them to need us.
We want them to need us. We want them to be calling and go, Rick, what's on the list today? If we just hand them out that list, it doesn't have the value to it. Okay? We want them waiting for that list. Does everybody understand? So don't give the list out, okay? Do your homework. Track your Best Buys, time on the market, list price, condition, selling price. Really important. Use your list. Don't give out the list. Offer access to the Best Buys. Show houses on the list to your customers. These are the houses that will sell the fastest. Okay? Address buyers' reluctance. The bottom line. What are we talking about? Why wait? What are some of the reasons we don't want to wait? Somebody help me. Interest rates. Why? They're going to go up. Could that knock somebody out of a qualification? Absolutely. Trade up. Why is trade up an advantage to us right now? Exactly. Okay. I had a friend of mine that unfortunately is a critical cancer list right now, but he's a guy that mentored me about 12 years ago. He would call his clients every 3 or 4 years, telling them it's time to trade up. Guy was $10, $11 million producer in Canyon City, Colorado. If you know that, that's huge. But he would call him and say, hey, it's time to trade up. Here's why. Okay? This is worth a phone call. Less is more. What are we going to do? What's our proposition, our value proposition? What's less is more mean? Anybody?
Help them make a decision.
Help them make a decision.
Show them less.
We're going to narrow down the field. Okay? Because there's lots of great product out there right now.
Know what they need.
Get them what they need. Listen to that buyer's consultation. Find the Best Buy. What's that mean? Right.
Do your homework.
Okay. Do your homework. The deal. Do they want a deal? Wouldn't we in this market? Okay. And so we need to do that.